You alright?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good.
How do you enjoy the past few days?
I've enjoyed the past few days a lot.
I'm so glad to hear that, because I was like, I didn't expect that we will have such a good time and that we will like make so many projects together, you know?
And memories.
Yeah, and memories.
Yeah, we should probably do intros, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So my name's Tom, or TomWellyWells is my online and artist name. I'm a spray paint artist from the UK, and I'm currently in Serbia in this amazing studio, which belongs to you. So Who are you?
I'm Stefan Achansky, aka Sketch, so most people know me as a Sketch. And yeah, I started as a dental technician, work in Germany for past 8 years, but not as a dental technician, but as a spray paint artist.
Yeah.
Just first year I was doing as a dental technician, but then I realized that I love what I'm doing with spray cans and spray paint art, to be creative. I was born in Serbia, and then I went to Germany with my wife. We got a kid, and then we realized that we want to our life go a little bit slower, so to not be like full-time on work, to work for the expensive houses and things like that, so to enjoy our lives with our kid. Yeah, basically.
No, I respect
and
that.
Dogs, of course.
And the dogs. And Snoopy and Floyd.
Snoopy and Floyd,
who I've got to know very well this week.
Yeah.
Snoopy's the hungry one, Floydy's the chill one, basically.
Yeah.
My backstory is slightly different, and where I'm going is slightly different as well, because we're obviously just we're in totally different chapters of our lives, even though we do exactly the same thing, which I kind of love that, you know, because it makes us like really varied. So I mean I've been doing this for 3 years and like 4 months or something.
Yeah,
I would say officially been like doing this, and I was first inspired in 2018. So I remember in 2018 I went to Rome, and while I was in Rome there was a woman in front of the Colosseum, and she was literally, I remember her, she was sat in the gutter, you know, and she was making art with spray paint. And she made me a painting of the Colosseum. I actually have a video of her doing it, and I just thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And so I came home, but I didn't do anything with that information for like 2 years. So like 2 years later is when I actually first picked up a can of spray paint and made my first painting. In fact, my first 3 paintings in the first day. I find with spray paint art, you get going really quickly, don't you? Really quickly. You can have your first painting done, which is why I think it's so attractive.
It's so attractive because you realize that this is like, with so low effort, you can create something, even that you don't have experience in art before.
Yeah, and I think that's what attracts so many people to it, and what makes the content that we make so kind of relatable, more relatable to, I think, conventional, like, you know, like oil painters and things like that, like people that are more ornate and highly tuned, you know, like the fine art, if you like. Even though technically what we make is fine art as well, you know?
Of course,
Like I said, 3.5 years I've been doing this, and then over the years it's kind of, I've had so much variance in
but
what
you
I've
did several different jobs, right?
No, I mean, I've actually only been a full-time artist for like 7 weeks or something. This is just absolutely wild, you know? And this trip is actually one of my first trips since doing that.
Oh,
it is my first trip.
That's
since,
awesome.
Since going full-time. And what a place to visit. The legendary sketch art
layer.
Because I spent years watching you between 2018 and actually starting, so that 2 years, we spent most of the time watching you do the thing that I wanted to start.
I understand totally.
And I don't know why I didn't start it sooner, but I do know that your videos on YouTube were a lot of what just kept it really fresh for me and kept it in my mind.
Yeah.
And I refer back to them to try and learn things as well. Because,
that's awesome.
You know, part of the self-teaching process.
Yeah, that was actually full idea of my videos. You know, my videos might be boring, you know, because they are long, and they're like really boring parts where I'm doing some for so long, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I didn't want to skip process because the people gave me like really nice feedbacks from what they experienced from my videos, you know, like your videos really helped me to find out how this is going on and how to do this. And even though that I'm not explaining, you know, like we're gonna remove the paper, we're gonna put this paint on, in some of my videos I do that, but basically watching my videos you can understand basics of spray paint art.
How content has evolved is how I've ended up evolving, you know.
Yeah.
Because you're long form YouTube,
Yeah.
and I am like short form TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how I've had to take, you know, so a lot of the techniques that you see up around here, you know, I've had to take that and condense it into under a minute, you know, and make it interesting and engaging. It's like a totally different process. Which is, it's kind of cool, isn't it? That despite the fact we do the same thing, and you know, arguably we are one of the two biggest spray paint artists in the world right now, but we offer two very different things.
Yeah,
you know.
I remember I didn't even tell you that, you know, when you started with spray painting with your channel, you know, and you gained so much views, you know, like doing like planets. We talk about like there's a bunch of people who just doing planets, and this is something that people can relate it like most because it's quick, easy, and there is no mistake basically when you make the planets, you know. And when you start to gain audience, I was like, oh my god, there's one more guy who's doing like planets and who's like getting publicity,
exposure.
You know, exposure, and I don't want to say I was jealous, you know, but like I'm putting so much effort to make like paintings, you know, and I'm not getting that exposure, you know. There's a lot of people who doing the same thing, you know, in the time, you know, but you were like nicest person that I mean, you know, you were not like I'm doing this because I am the, you know, I invented spray paint art. I invented you know, I didn't need respect, as I always said, you know. I don't want to be recognized by like but it's nice to have like when someone who's
if I ever get the chance to credit anyone, then I will. You know, like,
that's the thing,
because everybody wins. You know, I lose nothing by crediting an artist. And it's funny because even though I've learned from yourself and loads of other artists, I've learned from yourself, like people like Porfirio Jimenez and Bob Ross, you know. Like loads of our techniques come from Bob Ross basically, don't they? And especially with the landscape stuff. But you know, so I you don't lose by crediting because the other person feels validated. You're just basically telling people where you've learned some things, you know. People that do art degrees, right? They don't credit their university, do they?
Of course,
But they probably should, because in the same way
it's the same way they did.
Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, I also don't have a problem with that, you know, because I didn't invent spray paint art.
You didn't invent it. I invented it.
I watch it because when I started with spray painting, there was no spray paint people on YouTube. There was some kind of group of people who were doing spray painting, but it was just like, you need to pay for the courses, or the only one who is like Porfirio Jimenez. And big shout out to my friend Porfirio if he's watching ever, you know. I mean,
we love you, Porfirio.
He's really great creator and one of the first spray paint artists who did who goes out of the box, you know, who did really creative things with his paintings, especially old one. So I really appreciate it, and also I watched his video and learned a lot from his video. So I don't have a problem to say that, you know. I don't think that I'm
crediting you, and you're crediting the guy before you. I'm crediting both of you. You know, I see a lot of contention online, especially in my comment section. People saying to me like, you know, you're copying the other guy. I mean, but the irony,
there is no copying.
The irony is that if that was the case, I am the other guy to someone else. You know,
of course.
And that is like, I think the main thing, as far as I'm concerned, is that is literally the point. That is literally why myself, Sketch, Perforio, Casey Van Arsdale, anyone out there that makes any sort of spray paint art, we literally make these videos so that people can learn from them, you know. So if they're not learning from them and they're not applying themselves, then we haven't actually done our job, you know. And it's, you know, that's one of the best things about being online versus being on the street. You know, both have their merits. In fact, we had a great night this week.
This was like 2 nights ago, right? Yeah, we just randomly went on the street. Like, it was my first spray painting on the street in the last 8 years. And I was like, I mean, painting on the street has its benefits, and you know, it's pretty hard to go and to unpack, you know, and then to paint, and people going with some kind of different request and requesting from something from your website that is out of the price, you know, and you need to deal with them, you know. But I love to having like contact with people, and we had really great night.
It was, I was trying to, I did look up at one point and try and have a little count of the crowd, like how many. I'm gonna have a stab at like 50, 60 people at one point was our top crowd, which was great. And this was within like half an hour of us starting, you know. So yeah, no, being out in the real world definitely helps. But there's merits to that. I think obviously being online, you can reach a greater audience at all times. That's the main benefit, isn't it? In multiple countries. And I think there is probably more of a creative element being an online artist, being a social media artist. Because you get to try different things. And to be honest, creating the videos is an art form in itself, isn't it? Really? I mean, it took us 2 hours to set this up, by the way.
It takes a time. It takes a time and takes the effort. You know, people are like, oh, they're sitting in the couch, there are pictures behind. But there's like, we should put light this, and this is like too much light in here.
Everything around us right now, I'm just thinking of all the work in it. This table, this alone was hassle. Let's delve into the social media stuff a bit more. So we know the difference between...
Oh, sorry, I didn't finish the story. I don't want to someone get me wrong. So when you started like to making videos, when you get a lot of attention, when I said like, I was jealous because I'm not getting attention for the art that I think that deserve like attention, you know. And then after time, you became better and better, especially with the stencils, you know. You made such a good stencils, and I was like, okay, I'm not going that way, you know, because there's someone who's going that way. And as you can see in my videos, they are like 1 layer, 2 layer, maybe 4 layer stencil max. And what's the number of your max stencils layer?
52.
So that's like a big difference.
It was a really bad idea. It took me 4 days to paint that. I'm never doing it again. 4 days to paint it. The video flopped, got like 10,000 views or something, and I didn't sell 1 print. So it was a Metal Gear Solid piece, by the way. It's still on my website, so if you want it, please, for the love of God, buy one.
So I wanted to tell you, like, you was always nice. You always make like a nice gesture and say like, you know, sketch art. To those of you who are in spray painting, you know, sketch, you know, and other creators were just like, I'm challenging Sketch to do that, you know. And I was like, okay, it's not bad, but it's not like it's not. I think it's not right way to approach some creators that you want to collaborate with.
True.
You know?
Interestingly enough, I actually did that, but I reframed it completely. Because I had this in mind when I said so.
On which painting do you think?
This is Venom.
No, but before Venom, you know, you challenged me to do Venom.
I didn't even challenge you. It was like, can my art be better than one of the best in the world? Let's find out. That was the difference. So it was like a credit, you know. Even though I was trying to make something more, I mean, not even better, but just more realistic at the time. You know, I was more like, can my art be as good as one of the best in the world? Let's find out. You know, that's different to I'm calling Sketch out, you know, like, or I'm calling this person out.
But before that, we already exchanged some messages.
Yeah, we'd already spoken. Because you get a lot of people try and contact you, don't you?
Yeah. I'm really bad with responding. It's not that I don't want to respond, but I remember when I start with YouTube and when I get 100,000 subscribers, I put so much effort to reply to everyone, but then when you go Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I'm not a TikTok, but Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, it's just like it's overwhelmed and you don't know what are you doing anymore because there's so many messages and you want to respond to everyone and you cannot respond to everyone, and then people are just like, you don't want to respond to me, The same as I told you with the guy who was like, I didn't respond to the guy and he was like, oh, and after time when I respond to him, he was like, oh, you're responding me now when I already find out how you make your planets and things like that. Like, bro.
I get the same, obviously. I get so many DMs, and I think there's a few funny examples I'm sure we can go through that a lot of artists get. I mean, not even just artists, like online creators. I mean, I'll throw some of them out there in a minute. But I think the best way to get a creator's attention is to go in with some sort of offering, because a lot of the time we give out educational content, we might make people laugh, we might make people smile, so we do a lot of the giving, and I think that can make people think, oh, I can receive something from them, so I will get DMs like, okay, this is a classic one. They will basically, I think I had one today, didn't I literally had one today. Somebody will DM me and they say, hi Tom, I like your videos. Can you tell me how to make art my full-time job and how to set up my shop and where to get the paint from and where to get all the materials from and then teach me how to do it all, please.
Yeah.
Your videos.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, so I appreciate that you see me as some sort of expert in this field, and we do present ourselves in that way, but it's like, where does it benefit me, And I think a lot of people might look at that and think, well, you don't need the benefit because you're the famous one or whatever, but actually when the more time and effort you put into something, the more valuable your time becomes.
The best way to get attention from your favorite creator is to be active on his content.
Yes. If you're persistent in supporting that creator, the creators do notice it. I mean, I can think of one in particular. He's from the United States, and he has supported pretty much every single spray paint artist that's ever hit the internet. Do you know what I mean? He loves the art form so much that if somebody is having a go at it, no matter how big or small they are, he is very involved in making sure that they feel supported, and he's had a go at it himself. He lives out in Kentucky, he is so persistent. He befriended my mum. Him and his wife found out who my mum is, and befriended my mum. My mum knows them quite well, and I actually flew out to Kentucky to go and see them. It goes to show that if you're persistent in actually supporting a creator, even if it's just with kind words, they're going to notice that more than a random DM.
Exactly. That's why I was talking. There's a people who just, we spoke about it already. Like, oh, my cat died, and I'm so sad. Can you send me one of your pictures? Or my kid has autism. And just like, I cannot help you with that thing.
That is a classic DM, isn't it? A sob story.
Yeah.
And I do not want us to sound really harsh about anything or anything like that. We do, if as artists, and there's a lot of artists out there that will get the same thing, we sympathize and empathize with people's situations. But
I would spend like 3 days to do with charity. It's not problem that, it's problem just like approaching like people, so they feel sad to give you something for free, basically,
and that's kind of what it is. And you were right in what you said, like us sending out a print or whatever will not help their situation. Do you know what I mean? It won't actually help them. And I think that, do you know what would help them more is actually starting to create it themselves. And that's why I always encourage. I always think, look, you know, I've got tips and tricks playlists here, I've got tutorial videos here, like go back, watch those videos, because that could help you get into the art itself.
Or even record a message for that person, you know, you can...
Yeah, I've recorded...
You could make like private session for free, you know, that is not problem, you know, but it's just like, spamming to gain something, is it even like real thing, you know? Do
you ever DM random commenters?
No,
I do.
Yeah, that's cool.
Random comments in my videos, like I'll just literally every now and again, I'll go in the comments, go to a random video. You can only do this on Instagram. Okay. Like, go to a random video, go to the profile, hit DM, and I'll record them a video message.
Oh, that's
I'll be like,
cool.
Hi, it's TomWellyWells here. I just wanted to say thank you for commenting on my video.
Oh, that's an awesome idea.
That's all
actually.
I say.
Yeah.
And you can do it whilst you're on a walk or something like that. You know, just in your spare time. Yeah. Just do it to like 5. If you
to give appreciation,
If you do it like 3 people a week, it literally blows people's minds. You know, when you come to them. Yeah, just in that way.
It's also I never thought about it, and you gave me great idea.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I might use it.
Some of them go a bit psycho, and then they end up DMing you every day.
Oh, right?
But you know, it still means a lot to reach out to people. Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about platforms quickly, because YouTube is your thing, right?
Yeah.
YouTube is your thing. And you are actually, your next biggest social media channel is Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah, Facebook blew up so much, and I don't know, to be honest, I don't know how, because I'm not that much on Facebook. I'm not, you know, I'm trying to reply to messages and to comments, but it's just one day I open, and when I was street artist, I had my open page, you know, and it has like 160 followers, you know.
Yeah.
And then just overnight, when I was log in, I saw like 60,000 people were like on my. I didn't know for how long I had like 60,000 people that follows me, you know.
You didn't even know how long
I didn't even use it.
Yeah.
It might be like 3 months.
What were you posting back then?
Nothing. Yeah, I was like contacted by Bored Panda, like Unilad, Lad Bible, and they were like, oh, they want to use my.
You must have been posting something.
Nothing, just like.
So you had a blank Facebook page with no content?
No, not blank Facebook. I had like pictures that I made on the street and that I was selling on the street for like €5, you know.
So this is photos?
Photos,
right.
yeah.
This is definitely back in the day content, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is not current advice, all right?
Yeah.
Don't open a Facebook page, post a few photos and expect 60k followers. But yeah, no, I get that for that time, like, that would have made absolute sense. Yeah, definitely.
That page just contacted me like, we would like to use your content. I was like, yeah, sure, be free. I mean, I'm not gaining anything from that content anyway. And by giving them permission, they actually put spotlight on me, you know, and they gave me credit on Facebook, and it just blew. And next time when I logged in, it was like 300,000 people, and then I didn't even knew when I get like 600,000.
See, I've done most of the reposting pages, you know, like Unilad, Lad Bible, that kind of thing, and I won't say all, but most of them have done nothing for my social media presence whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's because there are now so many of those reposting platforms that, you know, they're just... And everyone, to be honest, everyone is a reposter right now. People take my content all the time and they redistribute it. Like, there's something like, I think TikTok, I've got something like 12 fake accounts alone.
Oh, okay.
That aren't me. And they actually, they contact my followers and they say, oh, you've won something from me, and things like that. It's really bad. And TikTok still won't verify me. That's right. TikTok still won't verify me. Yeah, I report them. It doesn't mean they get taken down.
Okay, I had like, I told you already that I had imposter on TikTok.
Right. Yeah.
And with 500,000 followers, spray paint artists like contact me like, hey bro, can you give me a shout out? You know, you're quite big on TikTok. I want to gain some audience. I was like, no, I don't have a TikTok. It's like, how do you not have TikTok? There's a sketch art on TikTok with 500,000 followers. And what? And then I go and report it, and no one was responding. And I even report the page and said, like, hey, this is like not my channel, but my name is used, my photos are used for that, all of my videos. So there is no other content creator or other spray paint artist who was. So I think I know. I don't want to say for sure that I know who it's behind, but the guy who was it's behind post my video and say, like, if you want to see like even better content than this, follow this guy. So I know who it is, and I didn't want to share any hate on pages and things like that. So I just report the page, and TikTok did nothing. And then I took my camera and I record a video for TikTok,
to prove it was
and I was like, hey, I'm Sketch, I'm a spray paint artist. This is my YouTube play button with 1 million subscribers. Here it is. So this is like imposter. Please shut the page down or whatever.
Report it.
And day after it was like
Luckily, my fake accounts the accounts that fake being me haven't gone that far. They haven't gone that far. I think one of them got something like 20,000 followers on TikTok or something. But for the most part, they've not gone that far. I report them. I can keep reporting them and get my followers to report them, but the platforms don't always take them down. I don't know why. Maybe they just don't care, or perhaps they have so many to take down that there's just a long queue. I'm not sure. But luckily, that hasn't really affected me too much. But people do, just coming back to the point in that everyone is a reposter now. Anybody can just repost your content. So I think the best way to combat it, in my opinion, is to keep posting original content. Keep original content going. And I would say this to all artists. I mean, I'm a big believer, actually, when it comes to being an artist, a modern artist, especially on social media, and just in the world in general. For me, the content is the job. You know? That's the job. Yes, we're very good at creating artwork, but if we don't know how to market ourselves in the right way, then if you want to be a social media artist, it is pointless. The content, you have to give the content time.
I would even say like consistency is even better key for success than like quality of the content. You know, when you see like the people, I know quite some people who are just doing planets, and I was so pissed off. That say they get like millions of views and like so much attention, and they don't even know to paint planets. They
paint them badly. I mean, there's kids right now, literal kids, must be 11, 12 years old, that get double the views that I do on planet painting videos, and their paintings, I'm not going to say they're bad. I would never say that they're bad because they're having a go, but they could use improvement. Do you know what I mean? They need more practice.
No, I saw really bad planets, and so I was so pissed off.
No holds barred with sketch.
No.
They're straight up dog shit.
Because I swear, I could teach my son Oliver in 1 year, to paint better planet. It's nothing like, but put some effort, try something new, try something different, so bunch of people were trying to like make, oh my goodness, so bad planets, and I was so, I don't want to say angry, I wasn't angry, but I was pissed off, and I took my camera once and said like, there's just so many people trying to make planets, and if you do, I'm gonna teach you how to do like proper planet.
Fair enough.
So I'm not saying that my planets are perfect. Someone maybe don't like my planets, how they turned out. Maybe they're too realistic, maybe they're not too realistic, maybe they're too boring and things like that. But like, there's like, I count 7 ways to use 3 colors to make 7 different planets. To make 7 different textures,
No, of course. And there's, there are, you can always take something, even when something is very, very simple, you can always take it and modify it and make it your own.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Like,
and every painting, not every painting, but every planet is every time different. You cannot make two same planets ever.
Everything is unique.
Everything is unique, yeah.
And
so that's why I love to make planets, even that some people hate them, you know, like, can you do something without a planet? I have like bunch of paintings here without planets. Even the most of them, they are planets, because I personally love to make planets.
We might have an extra cast member here. Yeah, I think we do. Yes.
Hi, Floydie.
Hey, Floyd. How's it going? So anyway, we were talking about planets, which is a real point of contention. Planets are actually, it's funny, planet painting is a lot of the reason why people love spray paint art, and it's a lot of the reason why people hate spray paint art, because they say, and this kind of annoys me, is that people say, it takes no skill whatsoever.
It takes skill to make planets.
It does take skill to make planets. It takes skill to make planets well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly.
And obviously you get a lot of keyboard warriors on the internet. You know, you get a lot of people that, you know, they have a lot to say because it's the internet. I would just love to have them in front of me. I'd go, all right, we'll have a paint off right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I will make you look like an idiot. Do you know what I mean? Like, But online, I mean, I take it as a compliment, because it means that we're making art that people can relate to.
Oh yeah. To be honest,
it's good that people feel that they can relate to it that much. It's the same. I get it with the stencil designs I make. Yeah. They're like, people say, "You using a stencil? That's cheating." And it's like, okay, design the stencil.
Yeah. We talk about that, designing stencils. Like, people are like, "Oh, you're doing stencil." Yes, stencil is easy to lay down.
Yeah.
This is just like easiest work ever, to lay down stencil.
Yeah.
But
paint
you need as you saw. Like, to those of you who don't know, we made content this week, and for example, I don't have that much spray cans in that many shades.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm not using that kind of style. And when Tom came here and said like, oh, we need, for this stencil we need this color, for this stencil we need this color, we need like, I don't even know the name of the colors. I mean, I know, but I never use it, you know.
Yeah.
I have like 3 shades of gray, you know.
Yeah.
And I have 15, you know.
I have 14 shades of grey.
And same goes for red, you know. I have like 6 shades of red. But we don't need 6, we need 12, you know, shades of red. You know, for the if you want to get that exact color,
ultra realistic look,
because you go 1 shade of gray and you're like, oh, this can be any other shade of gray. I think it doesn't need.
Our Poison Spider-Man turned out pretty good though. You know,
I mean, it's not 100% perfect, you know. We did it out of Shablon, you know, but it turned out so good.
It did. It looks awesome. It looks awesome, and I think it will print really well as well. I think the prints are going to look really, 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 really good. So I'm going to push those prints as much as I can, which you can order now. By the way,
so those of you who didn't order it yet, you can order it.
You can order it right now. So just go to my web store. The link will be wherever in the whatever way this goes. The thing. It'll be in the thing. Wherever it's somewhere there, or possibly
on
there.
The side.
Possibly there, or possibly in the bio, wherever this is, you know. So but just coming back to the point with the stencils. I mean, I never wanted stencil art to define me. You know, I never wanted stencils to become the TomWellyWells thing. You know, it's just something I knew that I wanted to learn. And when it comes back to the ease of making stencil art, yes, to lay it down is very easy, but I would challenge anybody that has never designed a stencil in their life to actually design one, you know.
To be honest, making content, I mean, I didn't realize how complicated it is. I mean, I know the stencils, I lay down 4 stencils, I wait 5 minutes and they're done, you know. But
well, that Spider-Man, how quickly did we paint that Spider-Man?
Pretty
hour and a half?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing. When I do paintings like this, I do it in less than 45 minutes. You know?
So hour and a half to lay down that Spider-Man. It took 11 hours to design it.
Yeah.
It took 10% of
That's
the
why-
time to paint it than it did to design it. There's always more than what meets the eye, especially in short form content, because short form content always gives you the idea that something is easy.
For example, sorry that I interrupt you. For something like this, I create like going with the flow. It's easy. It's really good. You know, I really love, for example, this painting behind me. You don't see it, but it's there. You know, or any other painting in the studio. You know, I need about 45 minutes, sometimes hour, you know, sometimes 20 minutes, you know. But the other day when we start to record with Stencils, we did like Batman and Joker painting.
Yeah.
Also link in bio in description.
Link in bio.
And it turned really amazing.
Yeah.
But it took us whole day.
Yeah.
Just to record it, and previous day to cut the
them.
stencils.
It took a day to cut them, to be fair, didn't it? It took I'd say at least half a day to
How many stencils
to cut them out.
Like
and we were using a laser cutter.
18, yeah.
And before, we both used to cut with a knife, didn't we?
Yeah.
Why I ever did that, I have no idea.
I remember Blood Moon Samurai, 1 layer stencil.
Yeah.
I cut it for like 11 hours.
Yeah, so I did
11 hours just cutting with my hand. And that particular painting made me to go and buy a laser cutter.
Yeah, I don't have to. It's the same with Venom, my first Venom, which was a single layer Venom. That was 8 hours to cut that out because, you know, he just has bits of him going everywhere, doesn't he? I think converting to a laser cutter for both of us was a really, really good idea. And that kind of just, you know, again, I've had people give me shit because I have a laser cutter, you know, like, and they're like, oh, you're not cutting it by hand. And it's like, bro, my job is to make my life easier, you know, like I'm now producing art commercially and therefore I need to make my life easier because otherwise I just won't be able to do enough.
It is stupid. It would be like you go to Mercedes and say like, yeah, you're not bending like metal with your hands anymore, you know, you're using machines. Of course you're using machine. The product is like,
exactly,
you know, the most thing I respect in a spray painting is clean product, you know.
Yeah, clean lines.
Like clean lines, sharp lines, not that like a few days ago when we were painting on the street, we didn't have knee pads.
Oh God, yeah.
And then we take a piece of styrofoam, and when styrofoam is start to crumble,
it's blowing all over.
It's like a nightmare. So, you know.
Yeah, that's not having, you know, so again, that would be, it's literally the same as somebody saying, oh, you know, you've used styrofoam, but you don't need that. You've got the concrete. Do you know what I mean? Like, the floor is already there, you know. But actually, really, we shouldn't have used styrofoam. We should have used something more expensive and more easy to use, you know. Yeah. So no, I'm a big believer in artists making things easier for themselves, and this goes for all artists out there. You know, I know. Portrait artists, for example, where they will take a negative and they will project the line work onto the canvas, you know. I think most artists do that now, you know, and it's the same concept, you know, to get the line work, you know. Most artists now are not completely freehand.
If you don't want to rent artists to pay price to do mural for you or painting, just buy the projector and do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
It's way cheaper.
Way cheaper, yeah.
It consumes your time, it consumes your not skill, you know, you have no skill to do that, you never did it before.
Exactly.
As we said, like, Tom got some offer, you know, for some crazy big mural, and I was like, bro, I would help you, but I need someone. I could do that, but I'm not feeling confident to do that with you, you know. We need, for murals, we need someone who is more experienced
in that exact thing.
In that exact thing.
And then the people that we know that are experienced in that exact thing, they use a bunch of shortcuts as well, you know, in their world. Because when you go to become a full-time artist, it's one of the things you notice. It's like any job, you know. It's like any job. It's like, does the carpenter use the handsaw or does he use a skill saw, you know, or a power tool? You know, it's exactly the same thing. And I think
wouldn't believe how some people hate power tool. Like, you're not real carpenter. You're using power tool. It's like crazy.
The result is better, and the result is what the customer is investing in at the end of the day. So I definitely believe in tools. that make things easier. 100%.
I was watching a video on YouTube. The guy he's not carpenter. He's a young guy, maybe 18 years old. He went to the forest to cut the trees and to do everything with his hands,
Yeah.
And he basically used a saw. He doesn't using chainsaw, and everything doing with the sharp tools, and and in one moment he was doing like drilling some holes with the like drill like this big, and someone in the comments was like, yeah, but that's cheating, like you're using like pre-made drill, like.
Yeah, there's
So
always going to be.
that's how far people can go.
There's always going to be someone out there that's got an opinion about what you're doing, basically. Yeah. And the old rule of the internet is don't read the comments. Yeah. But I love the comments. I embrace the hate. Yeah. For me, hate is great for business.
Oh, I would love to have more haters.
Yeah, I love the haters. Haters going to hate, potato's going to potate, and you just have to really embrace it. And I always, if things aren't going so well, I sit there and think, I could do with getting cancelled right now.
Yeah.
I've had Koreans come after me. People saying that I hate Korean people because I painted the Japanese rising sun, the samurai flag on a samurai painting. That was a good one.
Yeah.
If you search TomWellyWells autism, you will find over 200 videos made about me, about how I hate disabled people, apparently, because I made a painting for a particular, for the autistic community, for a group of people. Yeah. The irony of it is, and I think I can come out with saying this now, is there was a lot of calls from people for me to take the video down and things like that. And what a lot of people didn't see is the other half of people DMing me, massively thanking me for doing it.
Yeah.
I sold absolutely loads of that painting off the back of it. For people that really appreciated the fact that I just wanted to make something good for that community. Yeah. But there was always the people, and the type of people that were making the videos about me, they were all like extremely alternative, they were there to, they were like, there was a lot of professional victims out there, and they were even starting trends. They were starting trends to get other people to make videos about me. So, and that was, I fully, at first, it was like really like, God, this isn't great. It doesn't make me feel very good. But actually, after a while, I was like, I'm going to embrace this. And
it's the same thing that you told me, like, you need to be more controversial, to make like people to hate, not to hate you, but to make like negative comments. But because this is what actually algorithm is finding that your content is reactable,
There's certain things that we'll paint about that we're very serious about, but some people will take our art more seriously than we take it ourselves, So for example, I might let's say I'm painting Tom and Jerry, and I paint Tom purple. All right, let's say I paint him purple, right? There's going to be somebody out there that takes so much offense to this. Do you know what I mean? I didn't even think about it. Oh, purple Tom will look quite cool. But some people are like, Tomcat is grey. What the hell? This oppresses half of Africa. There'll be
and you're trying to.
Or purple is the colour related to the death of meerkats in Botswana.
That's why I was referred to.
And therefore, painting Tom purple means that you hate meerkats in Botswana. There's always somebody, and some of it is just hilarious. Honestly.
We could go like on and on for that topic.
The internet is just a wonderful place.
It's creative. It's so creative.
Yeah, the haters are as creative as we are. I
would love to have more haters, because as I said, they're really good for algorithm, and I think that's one of the thing that I should need more.
Yeah. Well, something you can work on.
Yeah.
And if you want help on any projects of how to find some haters out there, just hit me up.
Yeah,
right? Because I'm your guy. All right, I've got your back. All right? I've got your back. Yeah, you want people to hate your guts? I'm your guy. All right.
Me,
yeah. Just look at this face. You already want to punch it.
Better call Tom.
Yeah, you already want to punch his face.
What's your opinion about spray art community?
The community, what?
Generally, spray art community.
Are you talking about the artists, like the known artists, or
generally
just in
artists
general,
connected with audience and things like that?
Okay, I think the community is like, Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. There are spray paint artists out there specifically that can be quite toxic in some ways, mainly just hating on each other's artwork. And I think there is one thing I do want to talk about is the collation between street art and spray paint art. Are they different things? Do you think our type of art is considered as street art?
No, this is definitely not kind of street art. I mean, it is, in some point it is, because the thing I could do on the street, but it's not, as I said before, street art is about performance. I could do this on the street, but after 5 minutes, people will get bored and get out,
So what I meant is some people consider street art as only graffiti and murals.
No, I wouldn't say that. Yeah,
I would say that this is classed as street art because it is an urban art form. It's performed on the street by people on the street all over the world.
Yeah.
So I would say it's definitely considered street art. But
I
get a lot of. So I've had quite a lot of hate before. I mean, even as a mural artist, I've had a lot of hate before from graffiti writers. Yeah. So I've had graffiti writers come up to me in the street and say, "Oh, you should," and on the internet, and they've come up to me saying, "Oh, what are you using spray paint for that for? You're selling this, oh, it should be about the damage, you should be about damaging things and stuff like that." So I've had some hate from those sorts of people, but normally that's either out of jealousy or, we just think differently.
I think it's jealousy. Friend of mine, Smo Nova, best regards Smo, if you're watching. So he told me that people in graffiti community does not respect him because he's not gangsta,
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
The Smo for me is one of the greatest spray paint artists in that area. What he's doing, because he's making graffiti, graffiti art and art, combine them together to become and people who doing bombs, everyone can do bombs. They come and they trashing about real artists, I would say,
and you'll see graffiti writers, they'll come and they'll come and dog a perfectly good mural, a really nice mural that someone's put a lot of time and effort into. And they do that because this person, normally it's because this person has sold this piece, or whatever, and they don't like that. And they say that the streets belong to them and that sort of thing. But I've had it before when I've been in big cities, performing and stuff like that. And people will come up to me and they'll say, "Oh, you shouldn't be allowed to use spray paint because you're not using it for street art." And they would, and that's why I asked the question about the difference. But when it comes to the community inside of the people that make what we create, I think that for the most part they're okay. A lot of people come in and out of it, so people start it and they don't carry it on to the level that we do, but and generally people are quite supportive. There are people that will try and one up you, and they'll try and underhandedly get in front of you, copying designs, trying to sell them. That does happen, definitely.
Yeah, of course. The thing is, when I joined the spray paint community and when I start to grow my audience, people were supportive, But the more I became popular and they were more hating me, I was doing something wrong, he's doing commercials, he doing Disney silhouettes, and these are most interesting thing for me as a spray paint creator to make this.
It's known as pop art, isn't it? It's pop culture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean,
Andy
whatever
Warhol,
you do.
Andy Warhol was a famous pop culture artist. He painted popular people and things. He painted didn't he paint? Was it Marilyn Monroe?
Yeah.
So Marilyn Monroe, he did not invent Marilyn Monroe,
of course,
but his Marilyn Monroe paintings sold for millions. So
it's same the thing we talk other day, Banksy.
Yeah, Banksy. Yeah.
Why he's selling one layer, not good made layer?
Yeah.
It's just he doesn't even use weights, to lay the I'm not saying that I don't want to some take out of the contents. I'm not saying that Banksy is not artist. Banksy is a really good artist.
Yes.
But the thing that he's doing is easy.
Yeah, I could make Banksy's art in my sleep.
I could make it right now in next 5 minutes.
Exactly.
In next 5 minutes.
On the record.
On the record.
Yeah.
So in next 5 minutes, to create it on iPad, to cut it,
yeah,
and in 5 minutes I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, but the idea of creating that piece, that is his work, you know.
Yeah, yeah. He just paints very good memes, basically. He paints memes, and you know, and obviously he's
sending message through his work, you know.
Yeah, he was boosted up a lot, obviously, by the normal art world. You know, they really wanted to make a thing of him, and that's what's got him a lot of his popularity. But I think he's very much used that to just elevate what he does even more. And if you look at his, you know, the best part about this is if you look at any story about Banksy, it's basically said that the reason he got into using the stencils is because he was a bad graffiti writer, you know? Yeah. He wasn't very good at it. Yeah. He wasn't very good at making the paintings quickly, you know, in order to, you know, do the damage basically as quickly as possible. Yeah. That's why he got into the stencils. And again, efficiency. And for anybody that's going to knock artists that look for things to do efficiently, look at Banksy. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Would anybody say that he is not a successful artist? You know, like...
You can suck
Anybody would love...
You can suck it.
Exactly. Anybody would love... I mean, I would absolutely kill for my artwork to be as publicly recognisable. Yeah. It's not about the skill level. For me, it's about how publicly recognisable that artwork is.
So when I was beginner in spray paint world on the internet, you know, a lot of people were supporting. But since I started grew, and then people were like, oh, you start to do like Disney characters, Disney silhouettes, you know. And then for some people that I really respect, that I found that they have really good work, you know, that they gave like a lot of information about spray painting that I couldn't find anywhere. And I was really nice to them, you know. Yeah. They were trash talking behind my back, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like amazed when I find out that, you know.
Yeah.
And
this is really it's not a nice thing to find out, is it?
Yeah.
That people have been doing that. Yeah.
It's minority, you know. But it's still like I was like, wow. And then I left the group, and I never ever came back there to post like my videos, to post like to share my, you know, because I'm doing like commercial things.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I love to think that I did so much for spray paint community, in the meaning that I post so much and brought new techniques to spray paint world. And I mean, I don't think it's really stupid to even say, you know, I don't think for myself that I'm a best spray painter in the world.
Yeah.
And even just I did so much for the spray paint community when no one was that. When Porfirio Jimenez was only one who was doing the same thing, you know, providing free informations for the people who want to do like spray painting.
Of course, yeah. And, you know, I think that the main thing from that is that for every one hater, there are like 5 people that really love and support you. Yeah. That's the main thing to remember, is that people that would shit on you, basically, you know, they are the minority. You know, there's always more people that are going to support you, and there's always more people that are going to be interested in what you do.
It's not about followers, it's about recognition.
Yeah.
You know?
To be recognizable and known off the internet is the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal. The internet is one tool that you have. And I think a lot of artists, I mean, don't get me wrong, social media is the best tool we have right now, easily. And I would say this to I have a lot of up and coming artists, and this comes into like art for business, and we'll come on to that in a second. But like, I have so many artists come to me, and that one of the first things they ask me is, how do I push my art out more? You know, how do I get my name out there more? And I'm thinking, we have never lived in a better time for free recognition. You know, there's, you know, if it was in like the 1940s, you'd have to buy half a page newspaper advert you know, and hope that enough people on the train read it, and then 0.1% of those people would be interested in what's on the half a page if they don't skip it completely. It was just basically ads, whereas now we have this ability to get people interested in our journey organically, you know, and that's what's really valuable, you know, in this day and age. And I say to so many artists, just embrace the social media, embrace the content. And don't get me wrong, I hate it sometimes as well.
Yeah, of course. It's
I know you do.
No, yeah. I don't hate it, but it's a burden.
Yeah.
You know, it's really a burden that you need to carry. Yeah. Because my popularity dropped a lot because I was burned out.
Yeah.
I literally had burnout of social medias. Yeah, social media was a burden in the mean that you need to be there. You need to post the stories, you know. I mean,
even this week you probably posted more stories.
Yeah. And in this week when you were here, you know, I posted more stories that I posted in like, I don't know, year, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because it's like, okay, we are doing this, we are going full all in, you know.
And a lot of it is just about motivation, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's easier for us to be motivated while we're here together because you drive each other on, you know. You drive each other on to make cool stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
And not just that, since I became a father, you know, I just love being a father, you know.
Yeah.
And I love spending time with my family. And yeah. That's the thing, where I found like that the time I'm used on social media is just like too much, you know. And the free time you want to have for yourself, when you have it, you know, you just don't want to spend it anymore. And a lot of creators had the same burnout, you know.
Yeah. Oh, they do. I've had my stints of really bad burnout, especially when I was still working in the corporate world as a director of a very large company, you know, and also being an artist on the side, but really ultimately having 2 full-time jobs, you know. That really got the burnout going, and it affected my mental health really badly.
Yeah, of course.
But I really wanted to keep up the social media because I just knew how crucial it was. It's so crucial. Without all of my channels that I have now, I will disappear. That's a fact.
Yeah.
I completely disappear off the face of the earth without the social media. So I do have to keep it going. It's also a lot harder than what people give it credit for.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
It is.
People look at, you know, being any sort of creator, not just an artist, but like any content creator, and they think, oh, it's really, really easy. Yes, there are certain freedoms with it. You know, there are over like a 9 to 5. Yeah. But at the same time, you are responsible for keeping the content fresh, and you're also trying to what's the word? You're also trying to satisfy a platform that you have no control over.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know. I hear rumors of what TikTok and Instagram and YouTube want, but I don't know. Because if I did, I'd have the secret to being the most followed person in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I became overwhelmed because I watched so. We also talk about this. So stupid and so useless videos on these platforms. You know? And you're hooked up on that videos. You know.
Yeah.
You still watching them. You know they're bad. You know they're useless. And you're still watching it, you know. And so that's why I was like cut off the social medias for like, you saw me when I start to editing and I want to post my story and I just go and swipe through the like
doom scrolling.
Yeah.
I can doom scroll on occasion. I just try to consume as little as possible. I have to consume a certain amount for like, call it market research or whatever. I think there's a certain amount for trending audio and stuff like that. But overall, I try not to consume as much as possible because it's the dopamine, isn't it? It's basically the dopamine. Just
it is same for me. I'm not using it, but when I used to post the stories, I just get easily distracted with other things. So that's why I hate, not want to say hate social media, because I love social media and love posting and love the people who follow me and I have connection with them through the social medias. But
I think it's a fine line, but the overall message of that is that, you know, again, being a modern artist in 2024, I think, you know, if you're not,
it's no better
if you're
time
not,
to,
there's no better time. And also, if you're not exercising social media properly and learning from it, I see so many artists right now that are, talented. We talked about talent. Talent. We both believe that talent is a pursued interest, and that if you want to do something enough, then you can do it. You can learn it. But people that are very talented, people that have practiced their craft a lot, and they're exceptionally good at it. People I would consider better at my own craft than I am, but I don't think they're pushing the right buttons and doing the right things when it comes to social media to make themselves known as an artist, as a person.
It's same. That includes me, because I'm not pushing my content enough, because as I said, I had burned out of social medias, and when I came back, before I was like researching, go on YouTube, watching what is the best thumbnails, what is the best tags, you know, what should you do to tag your video properly, you know, and I'm not doing that anymore, because I was like, okay, I get million subscribers, I am enough,
Rest on your laurels.
I know the drill,
But really, you have to keep up with it.
Exactly.
You mentioned tags on YouTube, and tags do nothing on YouTube anymore. Whereas back in the day, they used to. And I think you have to keep up with it. Basically, you have to keep up with it. You have to constantly change and keep yourself fresh. But all of that aside, I just think the overall message to people is that you have to make yourself known as an artist, as a person. That is the crucial part about it, because people do not invest in the art itself. They invest in the artist. They invest in the person and their journey. Because guess what? You can buy a piece of mine, right? A custom commission from me. Okay, it goes for anything from like £400 up to like £1,000. Yeah. That's roughly, very averagely speaking. And you can go and get that from lots of other artists, but specifically people want to get it from me because they're interested in it being a TomWellyWells piece, because they follow my content and my journey as an artist. TomWellyWells, the character, it has to be made by me. I had somebody called once, and we painted. I went with my friend Jordan spray saint, and you mentioned Smo earlier, and I'm going to have a mural artist battle with you right now, because I believe that Jordan is one of the best in the world as far as I'm concerned, and he's been mentoring me, and I'm so lucky to have him. But we went to paint the inside of somebody's lift, for this young lad who can't get up the stairs, unfortunately. And I remember the person, his dad, saying to me, we want you to paint this lift. And I said, what do you want painted in it? Well, we're not really sure. To be honest, the kid is so obsessed with you that you can paint a stick figure in there and he would be like really, really happy. And that really struck a chord with me. They were like, paint whatever you want. Honestly, and in the end I got a brief from him. In the end I got the lad to tell me what he wanted, which was great. But it really struck a chord with me when they said you could paint a stick figure on the wall, as long as you paint it, he doesn't care. And that was, that's, it goes to show, doesn't it? If you make yourself emotionally available to your audience, if you make them get on board with your journey, then you can do anything. I honestly believe that. I want to talk about you mentioned obviously you were doing things commercially, started to do things commercially. So I went out on the street with you this week and we were selling paintings for €10. So that is really, it took me back to when I last painted on the street, because on the street you get less money. It's just a fact. Exactly. Whereas versus online, where obviously we command a lot more for our paintings, and I'm going to come back to it again. That comes back to the journey, the story. You can command a bit more money for your artwork when you're a reputable artist online. So when did you decide that going online commercially was the best thing to do?
I didn't go online commercially at all.
You didn't? No.
I remember one of the first, my first videos that I recorded for YouTube. I never posted that video. I might find it somewhere, but I recorded the boat that I spray painted
the boat. Yeah.
I dedicate that because no one was posting videos like that. No one had boat as a spray paint artist on YouTube. And I remember I was dedicated that painting to Porfirio Jimenez. you know.
Okay,
So
yeah,
I was like,
cool.
oh, yo, guys, here, sketch is here. I'm a spray paint artist. This is video dedicated to my favorite spray paint artist, Porfirio Jimenez,
Yeah.
you know. And this was like one of my first paintings that I was like, I'm going YouTube, you know,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
fun, you know. I had like 9 years before that open my YouTube channel, but I never post like anything useful. It was always some stupid
Stupid
interesting
stuff, yeah.
for me stuff, you know.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I was like, I want to make like my portfolio on YouTube. That was actually idea what to do. And you can see in my earlier videos, you know, where I was making like stencils and make coffee, you know, with stencils for Sunny, and I made like Lucille Beth from Walking Dead,
Yeah.
and really stupid things just to having fun on YouTube with my friends and with myself, you know.
Yeah.
So I was featured on the Bored Panda
Yeah.
spray painting the leaf, and people are blown up with this. The video really blow up, and then other social media contact me like, yo, when can we get like this like exclusive content? So not just this, but some other paintings to be their exclusive content, so they have all rights to sell them to represent blah 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 and things like that. And at first I was like, oh, this is like interesting, but then I realized when I posted on my social medias, I get like canceled, like by my own video were like canceled, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
And I told him, I'm sorry, this is not working for me, because every time when I posting, I need to, you know, I need to get approved to post my
Yeah.
videos, my own videos. And so, yeah, that didn't go that well. But I get exposed, you know, for the world to see my work and things like that. And people start to write me, yo, we want to buy your paintings. And I was like, how to buy my paintings, you know? I was in Germany and shipping to United States. Most of people were from United States, and shipping was like 60 euros, something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay,
From Germany.
from Germany
Yeah.
to United States. And so I was like, if I need to earn $20, let's say, I need to make at least $80 a painting, you know?
Yeah. Sounds about right.
And yeah, I was like, sure, this is the price. And I didn't gain anything like much from that. And in the beginning, I was just making orders through my DMs, you know.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine was like, why we don't open a web shop for you? And I was like, no one will buy my art, you know.
Yeah.
No one will buy my art. Why even bother to? Like, he was like, just trust me, I will open a web shop for you. I'm a web designer,
So
you know.
you didn't start on Etsy then, or a marketplace?
No,
or anything
nothing,
like that?
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I started on Etsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my story is much more simple. Like,
I'm
I
not
just-
sure that even Etsy, I mean, it probably existed in that time, but to be honest, I'm not sure it
Actually,
wasn't
I think it was
popular.
called something else at the time. It would have been called something else. I can't remember what it was, but
It was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah, I think marketplaces in general, like even back then, Amazon wasn't as big as it is now. You
Yeah,
know, so
yeah.
I get that. I mean, I started with Etsy. I literally, it was just in the comments of my videos that people were like, can you open an online store? Can you open an online store? Just constantly people commenting, can I buy your art? Can I buy your art? Where can I buy this?
Yeah.
And
So
I was like-
basically, a friend of mine opened web store for me, and yeah, that's how everything started. You know,
Yeah.
I get more and more orders. I was working in that time as a dental technician,
Yeah.
so it was really hard for me to balance both of them. And then when I start to gain more money from spray paint art than as a dental technician, I just quit the job. Yeah, and I even made a video about that.
Yeah. No. It's,
So I became full-time YouTuber, artist.
and you've been doing that, and you've been doing it full time as your main employment for
yeah.
how long? 5 years, say?
I think it's more than 5 years.
Is it?
I think it's 7 years now.
Sure.
I think it's 6 or 7 years the time like I cannot tell you because I'm
You're 6 or 7 years. I've been 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah.
But I've been doing this for 3 years total. It's so hard to say because I was doing 2 full-time jobs, you know.
Yeah.
So I have been doing it in my eyes full-time, but just alongside something else.
I mean, I was doing it also like full-time job. I was
When you were a dental technician.
and I was traveling in Germany. I was traveling like 70 minutes to my work, you know.
Yeah.
Which was like 65 kilometers, and luckily that was autobahn that you can arrive pretty fast, you know, and there was no accident. So I was spending majority of my day in like lab, you know, making that stuff. I was interesting thing. I never actually spoke about that, you know.
No.
I was recording my last day on work.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I never spoke about that, and it was like go to work, go back from the work. So roughly it takes me like 3 hours just on traveling each day.
Yeah.
And then come back and be so tired, and then I go to basement or put the piece of wood on the trash can, you know, make art and editing till 3 in the morning, and then wake up and 5 a.m. just go, and it was like going on and on like for 1 year, and then, as I said, my video started to blow up, and I asked first my boss to increase my salary, you know, but I agree that it's better for me to do full-time YouTube because I will gain like more incomes that way.
Fair play. Yeah.
So that's like full history of how I started with
and like
with online shop and
similar to me, but I opened the online store first, sold on the street second. Like when I sell on the street now, it's like it's either like at festivals or street art festivals, or I will just go and randomly set up. But I think it's difficult because commercially it makes less sense to do that, because on the street you have to sell for a lot less.
Yeah.
And I'm at the point now where it's kind of damaging to my brand to sell paintings for less money. We did it the other day just as like it was almost like call it a social experiment. It's like what Banky did. You know? So we're just calling it that. But so I started on Etsy. I ran Etsy for about a year and a half, nearly 2 years. I found the fees were a bit high, so then I just opened a Shopify store, like the same as yours. And it didn't make a difference to the traffic or anything like that, because all of the traffic was coming from my videos anyway.
Yes.
And over time, the great thing about it commercially is the more popular I've become, the more it's increased the amount I can sell a painting or a print for. Don't get me wrong, my prints are still, as far as art goes, are dirt cheap, you know, like compared to, you know, like modern artists art that sells for like, you know, like I think a brainwash print now, a Mr. Brainwash print is like 10k, you know, for a print. So but you know, I've been lucky enough for it to increase, especially on the custom commissions. Do you do custom commissions?
No, I did not. I did custom commissions before, but then I realized that with the people it's so hard, you know. I had like one client that asked me, "Oh, yo, can you do this for me?" It was like my classic painting that I was painting already, but can you make it like custom for? I want to give it for my girlfriend's family, and I just made like lettering, you know, in the corner, like for that and that family, and from this and this, you know, and I would say like, is this okay? I made exactly how he asked for, you know, and he was like, oh yeah, that is cool, but you know, this letter should go like big, you know. And I was like, okay, I mean, I'm doing with the cracking effect, you know, it's just like, it's not like that I can just repaint it, you know. Yeah. So I need to make like, fill the whole cracks, you know. Anyway, to short the story, I made the big letter and sent him like this, and he was like, "Oh, that is perfect. Thank you so much for doing this for me." Because in that time I told him like, "I'm not doing custom,
Yeah.
but I will do this for you." You know.
Fair play.
And I put him over like I had like to finish like 60 paintings before him, and he was like, "Please do this for me because I'm in rush." It's like I will buy like big painting. In the
Yeah.
end, he bought small painting.
Yeah.
I put him over the line, you know. And when he received the painting, he said like, "This is I don't like it, you know.
Yeah.
It's like your signature is too big," which it was.
Yeah.
When I see now, it was a big. But I send you a picture and ask you like, "Is this okay with you?" And
Yeah.
he said like, "That's totally fine." And he was like, "Can you do me exactly the same picture with smaller signature, and I pay you like $20?" And I said
Yeah.
like, "No, this is like the first time that I was jerked to the customer, you know."
Yeah. People that buy customs typically are more difficult. My 2023 was basically filled entirely with custom commissions because that's when my stencil game started to go up. So I started to do family portraits, pet portraits, and all that sort of stuff.
Only difference because you charge, let's say, okay money for the.
What's the most you've sold a custom for then before?
Not much, because I didn't do like custom. I was doing
right,
like
yeah.
regularly, like big and small paintings. Like I didn't overcharge it, you know.
No,
I was
no.
just like try to stay constant and try to,
Yeah.
yeah.
So custom commissions for me have, you know, they increase the value of my art definitely
Yeah.
because of the amount of time that goes into it. The most I've sold a custom outside of murals, forget murals because they're a whole different thing altogether. And yes, they command a much higher rate. But talking about spray paint art specifically, the most I've got for a custom on canvas is $2,500, right?
Yeah.
And on the face of it, people are like, "Oh my God, you got 2.5K for one painting." To most artists, that is like
Dream, yeah.
dream. Yeah. I'll never do it again. I will never do it again. And the reason is that the painting was very large. It had lots of different elements. I won't say exactly which one it is because then it highlights the client.
Of
But
course.
it had lots of different elements. It was very, very large. And they kept coming back with all the different elements, which was basically all different designs within the same design. Can you change this? Can you manipulate that? Part of it had family members in it. And then I ended up painting the whole thing. I showed them the design beforehand, painted the whole thing, and they're like, "That doesn't look like my son."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I'm literally designing this off a reference image that you've given me. Obviously, it's converting a photograph to a stencil design.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to look like for like your son." And they caused a massive hoo-ha about this. And I was like, "I can change the design and I'll show you again," because I showed them the design. You know, I showed them how the layers are going to look. Because you said the last one was okay. I said, "But I'll do it one more time." I did it one more time. I didn't even want to remake the whole painting because the whole painting took me 2 days just to paint. But this particular design of the boy, I had to overlay the old family photo to the exact size. And like,
It's easy.
They came back
it's
again.
easy using stencils. Like you can do whatever you want.
So I overlaid to the exact size, and they weren't happy again. And in the end, I said, "Look, I'm not sure what you..." Because when you get to this point, I'm not sure if the client is actually regretting paying the money to me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And then they're trying to find fault, basically.
To reverse it, yeah.
In the end, I said, "Look, will you settle for this version of the painting if I take £500 off the painting?" And they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Great." Because I just needed it off the desk.
Yes,
The stress, you know, the stress that it causes. And commissions now, I've managed to cut them right back. I've been very lucky that I've found other income streams and things like that, you know, in terms of like, you know, things like brand deals and stuff like that. But I still do commissions, but I'm just really choice about how I do them and who I do them for as well.
When you go on the street and sell your paintings that you basically charge like €200,
Yeah.
you know, you sell it for like €5.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not because you don't want to like.
It's the setting.
Yeah, it's a setting,
It's
you know.
the setting.
It's just like I came to have fun on the street.
Yeah.
And
if I sell some paintings,
we could
we
like
actually sold a few. We sold like 13 paintings or something.
We
didn't
sold more. We sent. I was counting. We sold like 19 paintings.
Yeah.
I mean, in total, like 19 small paintings, like in compensation that some of them were like big, you know.
Exactly. And also I think it's really important to know that 100% of the people that were there had no idea who we were.
Yeah. That's
Like no idea.
Yeah.
They had no idea that they were dealing with two of the most followed spray paint artists in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And the same like the
and that's why the setting is important.
I'm not
because
comparing. Yeah.
we can't govern. If we like €200 for this, they're like, you guys aren't worth that because they don't know who we are. They have no idea. So
we could say like, as I said, like, do you want to stay here or you want to go live on TikTok and earn?
yeah,
more
I know.
money, you
I could earn more money like on a live stream.
So it's not about like, but experiencing like being there near the people, you know, and like it's just like we did that for the content, you know.
Yeah.
Not to earn money or something like. It's nice to get some money,
Yeah.
of course, you know, but it's just like not some crazy money, you know.
Yeah.
If we go live on that, let's say, performance,
Yeah.
you know, I bet we would earn more money that we were selling.
Of course.
Pictures, you know?
But what advice would you give to any artist now in terms of selling their work? What is the number one piece of it? So they're an artist right now, they're not selling their work. What would you advise them if they wanted to sell their work?
Do a lot of work with small amount of money. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. The thing that we were doing on the street.
Yeah.
The thing I was talking
Start
to you,
small.
like I was doing, like when I was doing on the street, I was making like between 2,000 and 5,000 paintings a season. You know.
Yeah.
That's a crazy.
Yeah, that is insane.
That is insane.
That is like insane numbers.
Yeah. If you go on my web store, I mean, I made like that kind of amount of paintings in the last 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
And I was doing this on one season. So it doesn't matter, like, is it your painting bad or is it good? Just go and make a lot of them and sell them for small amount of price. You know,
Yeah.
I was selling my paintings for €5, so I can sell them later for €200,
Yeah.
250,
Exactly.
€700.
and you're putting in the reps, you know, you're doing the work,
Yeah.
and you're getting better at it. And you know, it's really funny because when I managed to jump that hurdle.
Yeah.
So I just started selling online for fairly decent amounts of money quite quickly, and I had to crush the skill gap really quickly.
Yeah.
You know, I had to find designs almost out of nowhere without being able to put the reps in.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it was so stressful. Like, it was such a stressful time for me having to, you know, have these custom commissions, really amazing looking paintings without having done 2,000 of them a season for 2 years before. So yeah, no, I think that's really good advice, to start small, put the reps in. Everything good is always worth waiting for. My advice, I suppose, to people would be to just start in the first place. You know, so many people don't start because they spend too much time researching or watching videos or reading about doing the thing without actually doing the thing. You know,
Here's the problem. I saw the people like opening now web stores, like spray paint artists that are like not that good. I don't want to say if someone is good or not, but like they open web store, they go to my web store, they go to your web store, and they say like this, say paintings for like from 80 to 400 to 700 euros, and they like, okay, I'll put my paintings for 100 euros.
Yeah.
Dollars, whatever, you know. No one is buying that, you know.
No.
Someone will maybe buy, you know.
Yeah.
But you sell one picture and you did nothing, you know.
Yeah.
You need made 1,000 paintings to sell like one painting for $100, and you cannot even pay off your spray cans.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And when you make like 2,000 paintings and like 1,000 spray cans go through your hands in one season, that's like different story. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, you know, you saw when we were painting on the street, I have like really clean work. Even I'm doing. I mean, my work is clean when I'm doing on a street. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's a sharp edges. Everything
Yeah.
is like okay. When you cannot control every time when your painting is dry too much. You know.
Yeah.
That's a different story. You know. But like, this is the like best way to make good content, to make good paintings.
Yeah.
To sell your art. I don't want to sell for cheap,
No.
but count your time and see what you can do.
Yeah, I always say that. I say people should give themselves an hourly rate, and
Yeah.
like, just literally. And it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow for some people, but start at minimum wage. Start by giving your hourly rate at minimum wage. You know, and then nobody can argue with your prices.
Okay, here's the thing.
You know?
We started on a minimum wage
Yeah,
few nights ago.
that was definitely minimum wage.
that was the minimum wage.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we were selling like
Well,
paintings.
was it though? Think about it.
No, it wasn't. It was like under minimum wage. You
Exactly.
know? You know, when you go to New York,
Yeah,
the people selling the same paintings for 30,
25, 30 bucks.
25, 30 bucks. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
We were selling here for 10 bucks.
Yeah.
Small painting. People
Yeah.
had no idea. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm selling like this kind of paintings for like, I don't know, let's say minimum 180
Yeah.
euros,
180.
dollars, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like similar, yeah. It's similar rate. So even that we were selling for so small amount of money for compensation, we still in 3 hours, what were we, 3 hours there?
Yeah.
About 3 hours, we earned like 200,
About 200 euros.
about 200 euros.
Yeah, which is good.
is still better than you can do on your regular work.
Yeah, exactly. So I think if you start small, you'll be very surprised at how quickly it goes above
Yeah.
that. You know, just by setting the bar low,
Yeah.
you will just aim higher without even knowing
Yeah.
it. And I think a lot of people can learn from that. But these days, people must couple it with the content. You know?
Yeah.
Can't stress it enough. They have to couple it with the content. I have loads of people contact me for consultancy about how to make content and things like that all the time.
Yeah.
And I say the same thing every time. You know, start, experiment, see what works. You know, you can write yourself a 30-day plan. You know, 30 days every day I'm going to post a piece of content, and just make it really simple. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a show-stopping design every single time. Keep it simple. And get people invested in you as an artist. That's the best advice I could give anyway. And you'll be amazed at where it can take you. I am absolutely, to this day, I am blown away at what has happened with me in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I do not come from an artistic background. I'm not classically trained.
Yeah, I know.
I saw somebody in Rome 6 years ago and thought it was well cool, mate. And then I thought, oh, that's well cool. I'll have a go at that. And 3 years later, I'm a full-time artist. And I'm popular in the world of what I do.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're the same, and you've stayed popular and relevant for so long. So it's clearly special what we can offer.
Yeah.
And all artists are the same. I don't care if you're a photographer, if you do drawing, if you do acrylic painting, oil painting, whatever it is. I think everybody has the opportunity to. Every artist has the opportunity to get people invested in what they do. Definitely.
Can I ask you something? You know who Peter McKinnon is?
No.
Peter McKinnon.
Peter McKinnon?
Yeah.
Hit me.
The guy who's making like with Casey Neistat, like.
Oh, Peter McKinnon. Yeah. I know.
So is he best in his job? No, it's not.
No.
There's like. I mean, I'm not saying that he's like bad or something. He's extremely good.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a bunch of people who are more talented
That you wouldn't even know.
that you don't even know.
Yeah.
But they're not there. They're not doing
They're not doing it.
what he's doing,
Yeah.
There's a bunch of good spray paint artists that I know
Yeah.
that I could learn from them.
There's so many
But
artists
they're
that I
not
know.
posting
Yeah.
the videos,
Exactly.
Like spray paint artists, genuine, and they just not posting it all. They put some picture when they are like on some ferries and things like that, and it's crazy.
There's so many artists that I know that are like I said before, super talented, but they don't go anywhere because they're not pushing themselves out there, you know.
Yeah.
But the worst part for me is when these people complain that they're not getting the exposure they deserve. It's like, but you're not doing the thing.
It's the same.
You're literally not doing
it's
the
same
thing.
time with me. I was like underexposed, you know, for the past years, you know.
Yeah.
But this is my fault, not because I
and you
lost
can take responsibility
it, or
for that.
I'm taking responsibility for it.
Yeah.
Not because there's some guy who's making like planet. No, because I don't make a planet. You know.
You could make the same video.
I could make the same video.
Yeah.
I could make the same shitty planet. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing that. You know. And that's like if you want. So you can choose. Do you want to be recognized for the things that you do? You know.
Yeah.
Good.
Being true to yourself.
Or you want to be like, and you need to find a way to represent your art on that way, you know.
Yeah.
You cannot do the same thing like, he's making like one planet, I'm doing this with so complicated painting. I cannot do that, you know.
Yeah.
You just need to find a different way and different shablon that make your art works better for yourself.
And the thing is, you don't have to change much of what you see from inspiration. Yeah. You really don't. Yeah. Like, you really don't. Like, I could take any of these paintings. I could take that painting there, you know, and I could make it with 2 planets, 1 palm tree, make the land come out a bit further there, and make the lagoon come from the right.
That's the whole point of...
And that would then be arguably my own painting.
Yeah.
Even though I've looked at that and I know in principle what I could do, you know, it is different to... And this comes back to the whole copying thing.
Yeah.
You know, taking inspiration and copying are 2 totally different things, and you can make something your own so easily. You know, so easily.
Making spray painting is so easy.
Yeah.
You just need to learn the basic of spray painting, what to do. So, for example, when I said I'm going with the flow, I am going with the flow.
Yeah.
But I know what I know to paint. You know. So I know to paint pyramids. You have like in spray painting mainly pyramids. There's like planets.
Yeah.
Nebula. Mountains,
land
you have
masses,
trees, texture,
water.
So you think about
everything you see here.
Choose
basically.
some of these. Everything you see, it's everything is there. I'm just looking at, trying to think.
Yeah.
You just took these elements and import them into your painting, and then you have like limitless inspiration. And you just mix the colors that you want, that you don't want. So I made one painting where I was just painting with random colors. I didn't even watch what colors I'm using.
Yeah.
You know? And it turned out one of the, I don't want to say the best paintings, but really good painting, you know?
Yeah. One of the best things about spray paint art is that it is like fantasy based, you know?
Yeah.
And nothing is off limits. I just want to talk about idols, right? So part of the reason that I'm here is you obviously are one of my art idols, so
glad to be there.
Years of watching your videos before I actually even started, or even before I even picked up a can of spray paint. So there's yourself, and there's a few others that I would consider my idols. So who are your art idols?
As I said, like in the spray paint world, my idol.
Just in general, everyone in general.
The favorite person that I would love to go with is like Frankie Morales. He's an inline skater.
Really?
Yeah. And like he's my inspiration from high school. Yeah.
Really?
You know?
Frankie Morales. Okay, that's awesome.
So you may not watch this, but big shout out to you, bro. But anyway,
We've got some questions from people on Instagram, and we'll just fire through these quickly. Okay, the first one is, did your art teachers encourage you much?
Oh my God. I wasn't so perfect in I wouldn't say like I was super talented like in elementary school, you know, but I remember that once I tried to replicate one painting that we had like in our living room, and I painted that exactly with this, and my art teacher was like, no, you go, this is not the one that you work, you know.
Really?
Someone did that for you, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
they didn't actually believe that you made it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah. So, but did they encourage you?
No. My high school teacher, she was really good, and she really encouraged me and my friends to do. She was just giving us like free private lessons, like group private lessons we would like doing oil on canvases, and she was really great. So big shout out to Jasna.
Jasna, big shout out to you.
So I want to know, when you don't feel like doing art, you just not do art, or do you push yourself to do it?
If I really don't feel like doing it, I don't do it, because I won't produce my best work. But yes, there are some days where, like, I've said this, a dream job is still a job, you know? So if it's still a job, it means that even if I don't quite feel like doing it, I still push myself to do it. But if I really don't feel like doing it, as if like the actual end result will be affected, then I don't do it. I do something else. But I do believe that you have to, at the end of the day, you have to get off your ass. You know, like, it's easy just to sit around. Like, you know, it's the same with any job.
First I was thinking like, don't push yourself, go watch it. No, go push yourself, because if you don't push yourself, it's same like with training, with anything else. You know, it's much easier to sit in front of TV and watch the chips. It's much easier and it's much satisfying till you don't go and training, you know. And after training, you'll see that you feel really good, you know, and that it's better thing that you go on training than sit in front of TV and watch the chips.
So it's just, when doing it when you don't feel like doing it can be actually really powerful. I think that's a good one. Does Sketch use glow-in-the-dark paints as well as pigment powder?
No, I was in beginning, but you cannot just get that good effect as you mixing it by yourself, you know.
So it's just glow-in-dark powder now?
Yeah, I'm preferring glow-in-the-dark powder. I was before use glow-in-the-dark paint just to make my job easier. Yeah. But it's way expensive and you don't get that good results.
I also only use glow-in-the-dark powder. I don't have as many colours as you though.
Yeah.
And you know, I actually get paranoid about glow-in-the-dark powder when it's coloured. I don't like it when it's coloured.
I don't like it too.
Because otherwise it kind of ruins the painting in the daylight.
Yeah.
You get random purple where you don't really want it, you know. I just try and go for ones that are white that glow a different colour. But it's only like yellow, green, turquoise and blue that I can find.
And red.
White. You can get white that glows red?
Yeah.
Can you? Oh, I'll have to have a look.
And you know how much it costs?
How much?
$180 for the kilo. It's still like good
price.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when I need to buy this, oh my goodness.
It's painful.
Yeah. Same goes for the orange. You know, for the white is something cheaper, like $80 a kilo, you know. You can still do a lot of paintings with that.
The thing is, I get all mine off Amazon, and guess what? It's still cheap.
Yeah, it's still cheap,
for what it is.
Yeah.
You know,
and they are not
a small pot of pigment powder, you can get 10 paintings out of that. So
it's not about where you buy it, but it's how you use it.
Exactly, yeah.
So what's your favorite spray paint art technique?
My favorite spray paint art technique. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Planets. I love making planets.
Yeah,
do you love making planets?
Every time.
Yeah, we love making planets. Favorite technique. Best looking, easiest to achieve. You can fit multiple ones on a painting. You can have different textures. You can mix them up. And yes, I know you see spray paint artists make planets. All right, you see it a lot. Do you know why that is, people of the world? Because your algorithm knows that you love it. You actually love it. Otherwise, it wouldn't show it to you all the time. And I know why you love it, because, you know, people, when we're on the street, they are most in awe of the planet paintings. They literally, the planets are what make them think, oh my God, like, because it's all so crazy and everything's happening, but there's this perfectly clean line with a perfectly shaded 3D planet, and people just, they just love it, you know? And okay. I enjoy, like, mountains would come a close second. I like painting mountains. I think that, again, also, they look really good. So but I'm glad we're in agreement about that.
Yeah, this is like definitely one. So like the guy who I told you about a few days ago, who came to me after I finished my performance in the street, and he was like, "What's the trick?"
Yeah.
I was like, what was the trick? How you deceive all these people? like what? He was like, how you put planet under the ball, you know, like I was like, okay,
that is brilliant. I do a lot of live painting. Any other tricks besides fire to put on a show?
Yeah, just spinning
Safely.
cans. Just spinning cans.
Spinning cans, yeah. I was going to say, they did actually mention spinning and flipping cans as another thing. That's pretty much it. Spinning cans, flipping cans. There's other things that I do when I'm painting live, like, for example, I will get people involved. Like, I'll ask them to pick the next colour.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say, like, which colour's next? And then
Yeah.
get them to point
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
I've had it where I've had a kid, like, I had this Deadpool painting, I think it was, I was making, and I needed blood splats on it. So I got the red and I put it in a kid's hand, and I was like, spray my hands.
Yeah.
And the kid was like, absolutely loved it. Like, he absolutely loved it. And then I used that to flick the blood splats on. So, yeah.
But you don't have that in a live stream, right?
No, not in a live stream. But in a live setting, like painting, like, that's what they meant, is like painting live on the street.
Okay.
So, yeah, things like spinning cans and stuff like that.
Spinning cans and fire, like.
Yeah, fire. But fire, again, only use fire if you, and this isn't like some public service announcement, you know, only use fire if you don't have access to power, you know, to use a hairdryer, you know, use a hairdryer. If you're at home, just use a hairdryer or a heat gun, or, you know, if you're putting on a show, the fire is for the show. And you'll see me use it in videos, you see you use it in videos, you know, newsflash, you don't need it, all right?
How many paintings did you burn?
Oh, loads, yeah. And it's not, half the time it's not even worth it, because your whole painting, you were like, yeah, man, I'm using fire. Then boom, boom, flat. Great. Now the last 2 hours of my life have disappeared.
I've had comments about it. How do you really feel about others copying your art?
People copying my art. So I have no problem with people copying my designs. A small credit goes a long way, I'd say. If they are directly copying a design of mine, you know, for example, like colours, techniques, exact placement of exact everything, a small credit. To be honest, if you make the same painting as me, but you change the colours and the placement and everything about it, but you're using the same techniques, I don't need credit, because that's yours. And I honestly believe that, you know, even though you might copy techniques, everyone copies techniques. Leonardo da Vinci copied techniques. You know, every famous artist ever has learnt ultimately from another artist, even if you've learnt it in school. So, yeah, it doesn't bother me. Only if it's like a direct copy, then a small credit. And kind of like, and also, like, I would go a bit further, and I'd say, like, if you directly copy my design and then try and sell it, then, yeah, you can, that's kind of, that's crossing the line. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is definitely crossing the line. If you're trying to get commercial gain from it, then
I don't even have a problem with that, you know. Just like, you know, I don't have a problem with someone copying my work. I was copying other artists' work as well, you know. And as it said, there is nothing wrong about it. You know, just I don't know. It feel like weird. For example, I remember I copied one guy's work. You know, he was not a spray paint artist. He is in total different niche. You know, and to be honest, I didn't know who the artist is.
Yeah.
I just found the paintings. I love the setup. I love how it is. It was Lion King painting.
Yeah.
Old now, not the one that I have right now. Old one, and guy was go and shut me down on every. I was like, I reach him out and say, hey dude, I'm sorry, I didn't know who the artist is. I really didn't even know that you're an artist. I'm really sorry. Is there anything that I can do to give you a credit or something? And you're just like, it's nice from you that you reach, but I don't like that someone is copying my work.
Really?
And that was like,
that's interesting.
like, basically.
So what happened? Did you take the video down, or did you?
Yeah, I take the old videos down, you know, but there was so much repose that videos could not be like.
Yeah, completely eradicated. But well, that's interesting. That's an interesting story.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, as I said, like, there's one guy who constantly copying my work and like selling as his own and not giving me a credit. And I went on. I don't need the credit, you know, but it's just like he represented. For example, for the same painting, he stole from me. I stole the stencil from someone else.
Yeah.
it's not for someone
But you
else.
repurposed it into a whole different design.
Yeah, in whole different design,
That's different.
in whole different color. I repurpose it. You know, Stencil was nothing like original work. It's basically not someone's particular work. It's basically original Disney poster. You know, just a little bit different. You know, but this guy constantly copying my exact work, exact same colors. You know, and post it like its own. And I reach him on the comments and say, hey bro, it's not okay to do that. Like, at least if you do that, I don't have a problem that you do that. You know, but at least give me a credit that you don't say that you stole from me. You say you're inspired from my work, you know.
Again, you know, it's like inspired by, you know, and to make that's so different. You know, I sell my stencil designs on my website. So you can take any of my stencil designs and you can use it to make spray paint art. I literally give the downloads on my website. So when you talk about copying work, okay, I designed it. It's my original design, but I clearly don't have an issue with it because I'm just offering it out there for people to use in other designs. And you know what? A lot of spray paint artists across the world will be using this on the street to make money. You know? But I'm fine with that because they're only getting the stencil. They can't copy the whole thing. The best one I've had is very, very recently. I had somebody, they copied my design entirely. I won't say which one. They copied my entire design, put it onto a web store, and then they sent me the link to the web store asking what I think. So sometimes it's just out of naivety. This person obviously was just naive to think that I would be like, oh, great job, bro. Like, well done on completely ripping me off, because like you wouldn't send the link to the guy. He sends me the link. Can you tell me what you think? What do you think?
He was like, can I buy it? He wanted like a medal or a pat on the back. And I did say to him, I said, look, I appreciate you trying to make... I was nice to him, to be fair. I said, I appreciate you trying to make your own way, but you have literally ripped off my design and you're trying to sell it. So can you please take this down? And he did come back to me and he did say like, okay, you know, he said fair enough. He said, I didn't even think of it like that. I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's fine. That's cool,
It's not a problem. Okay, last one. This is a genuine question. Somebody said, can you please discuss different types of bread? So I think if we... Just tell me your favourite type of bread. Just give it to me.
Brown. Black bread.
Sourdough. Black bread? It must be a Serbian thing. Anyway. Sketch. I still can't believe that I'm in here.
I'm still can't believe that you're here, you know.
I know. I can't believe that the fact that we were able to make this happen, this whole sort of past week has been absolutely awesome. I'm sure this won't be the last that people see of us.
The thing, I thought that we will do so much more, because when you came here, I was like, oh, we have like whole week to do, and we did a lot of projects. No, I'm not saying that, but it's just why like this whole week. It's
absolutely flown by. The main thing is that we could get together, we've painted together, we've created together. I get to see this amazing space and be around, just being around paintings that I've seen over the years that have really inspired what I do today. So thank you for that. I hope this speaks to a lot of artists out there, you know, like real world artists that are trying to make a thing of what they're trying to do. I think just to know that there are people on the other side of that still have struggles, that still find things difficult, you know. I still get imposter syndrome, you know, to this day. So
it's always like the most talented people have like imposter syndrome. It's not about you, it's about other people that not doing the thing enough.
Exactly. Just do it. Whatever it is you want to do. I don't care if it's painting or ice hockey or, you know, or anything out there, you know, that you want to do. Just start doing it, and I promise you never know where you're going to end up. You might end up in a different country in some random guy's garage that he calls a studio, and like talking to somebody that you never thought you would. So just go for it,
guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and
I'm really
to those of you who spend so much time watching this. I don't know if someone will watch this at all, you know, but we wanted to create this for ourselves,
man.
Really?
Oh, yeah.